Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Flipped Classroom, Figurative Language Edition, courtesy of RestelZone.com. So, we're getting ready to get started, and remember that if I'm going too fast, or if you need to fast forward me, or rewind me, or even pause me, then that is absolutely fine. But do not have me on mute. Make sure that you are listening to the notes and also copying the notes, okay? Hearing what I say is just as important as you writing the things down. Because some of y'all just put it on mute and just played it and wrote some things down and thought, I'm good, and you weren't good on the last notes. Pencils and pens ready before you begin. If you don't have your notes, you can use plain paper. Give me my full time. I don't know how long it'll be. There's no excuses. If something doesn't work or you have an issue, you can email me and your parents can text me. You can come see me in the morning for tutorials and in the afternoons for, well, morning/afternoon for advisory too as well. Okay? So, what do you need for this? You need your personification, hyperbole, and idiom notes, a pencil or a pen, and you possibly need paper. There are your notes right there. Let's get started. So, we're on standards, and we're going to start with the first standard, which is RL 7.4. Determine the meaning of words and phrases as they are used in a text, including figurative and connotative meanings. Analyze the impact of rhymes and other repetitions of sounds, like alliteration, on a specific verse or stanza of a poem or section of a story or drama. Go computer. 'Tis frozen. There it goes. RI 7.4. Determine the meaning of words and phrases as they are used in a text, including figurative, connotative, and technical meanings. Analyze the impact of a specified word choice on meaning and tone. And lastly, L 7.5, to demonstrate understanding of figurative language, word relationships, and nuances in word meanings. Okay, so EQs. How can figurative language and the use of sound devices enhance the impact, of a poem or story? Story or poem. And then, lesson questions. How do I identify, analyze, and respond to the effects of figurative language, simile, metaphor, personification, idiom, allusion, and hyperbole within informational and literary text? And I did it again. Reading is fundamental. I keep switching the words up, but I still love you. So, today we're going to focus on personification, hyperbole, and idiom. Okay? So, it is time for us to jump into our notes. Personification is first. With personification, like my, we are going to go ahead and start off with the definition of personification. Just so you know exactly where to write this, we are writing it in the personification section of your notes where it says right here. Okay, so let me zoom in for you. This is where we're writing our definition. Back to it. And again, don't forget you can pause me. Personification takes an organism, an object, or an abstraction and gives it human characteristics. It's not just about animals. I know we focus on animals and like flower and nature a lot when we talk about school and class, but it doesn't have to necessarily be nature. It can be a table, it can be a book, it can be anything that we give human-like qualities to. Okay? I'm going to use some examples and you're going to write those examples here on your notes, right in there where it says my examples. Write that here. Okay? You're writing down 2. So I'm all about the music. So this first one is from Under the Bridge by Red Hot Chili Peppers. And the lyric of the song is, sometimes I feel like my only friend is the city I live in. The city of angels. Lonely as I am, together we cry. So you can easily figure out that what's being personified is probably the city. But I need you to also understand what it means. So in those lyrics, Under the Bridge by Red Hot Chili Peppers, he's saying that the city, which is LA, is his friend and that they cry together. That's what's being personified. But what it really means is that he's lonely and depressed. And being in LA is really the only thing that gives him comfort. And I can completely understand this. Because when I moved from Los Angeles to Georgia for the first time, I think I cried for like 8 months. No, I was a child, but still. I want to say I was in 6th grade/7th grade. Moved from California all the way to in the middle of nowhere in Georgia. I wasn't in Atlanta. It was a huge culture shock for me. And I missed LA. I missed it so much and I missed everything about it. And it like rained every day where I was and it was just like terrible. I actually wrote a song about it. I'm not going to sing it for you right now. But it's kind of funny. All right, moving on. So another example, this is from Owl City, Fireflies. because I get 1,000 hugs from 10,000 lightning bugs as they try to teach me how to dance. So with this one, we figure out that lightning bugs cannot hug and cannot teach you how to dance, okay? So that's what's being personified. And what it actually means, you have to kind of listen to the song to get this. I didn't just get this because I'm brilliant. I listened to the song and kind of really thought about it. And I also researched it too. So fireflies actually represent his dreams, probably more like his childhood dreams. And those dreams, as he grew older, they inspire him and he thinks about them a lot, but they also keep him up at night when he's thinking about them. Next, it is time for you to write your examples. Now remember, you can rewind it, so go back and look at the other examples from music. I don't want you copying off of examples you've already heard and used. And you're going to write them right here in this box. So again, your own personal examples. When you're writing your examples, you are going to look at the following pictures. I'm going to zoom in on the pictures, and you're going to write 2 examples of personification using the pictures. Remember to make up your own. Make up your own. So here are the pictures, guys. And again, you are welcome to pause me and stop it. I'm just going to go fast to the pictures and look at it and really think to yourself, what can I personify? Those are really interesting. I like that picture too. That's kind of my favorite. I don't know. I kind of like all of them, but that one's my favorite. So pick 2 pictures, or you can write 2 things of personification for 1 picture, but just use those 4 as your inspiration. Okay? All right. So now it's time for hyperbole. Yes, it's time for hyperbole. Or as my husband says, hyperbole. But do not say hyperbole. That's not how you say it. It's not hyperbole. It's hyperbole. You better not come to class and want some hyperbole. So, hyperbole. Definition is written right here in the hyperbole section of the notes, and you're writing right here and define it. So there it is right there. It's looking at you, it's saying hi, hyperbole. Okay, it really is not. That's personification. If it was saying hi to you, the paper saying hi to you, that'd be personification. We're on hyperbole though. So hyperbole. Hyperbole is an overstatement or an exaggerated statement used to heighten effect by emphasizing a point or by creating a humorous effect. So it's totally exaggerated, and usually sometimes it's to be funny, but sometimes it's just to prove a point. So I'm going to give you some examples of hyperbole, and you are going to write my examples in the box right here where it says my examples, and right here, and make sure you're copying all of my examples. Okay, well, all the notes, at least 2. So the hyperbole. This is by Christina Perri, and I love this song very much. So, I have loved you for 1,000 years. I'll love you for 1,000 more. And we all know that you can love someone. You really can. But I don't know if you can quite love them for 1,000 years. That's a really long time. You would be really old and really crusty if you love someone for 1,000 years. Really. I think it'd be kind of creepy. I don't think they'd be around anymore. He used to be like, I love you. So let's take a look at what it actually means. What's being hyperbolized is she is saying that her love has lasted 1,000 years and will last 1,000 more. It doesn't really mean that, okay? But what she does actually mean is that she feels she will always love him. But it's more exciting to say, I love you for 1,000 years and I love you for 1,000 more. Okay? Thank you, Christina, for that. Here's another example. And I love this song with all of my heart. Bruno Mars, Just the Way You Are. I know you've heard it over and over again, and for you it's old, but it's never going to be old for me because it reminds me of my husband and me. So, TMI, I know, I'm sorry. I told you a little bit though. So anyway, and when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while. Could you imagine the whole entire world just freezing because of your smile? If you can't imagine that, then that means you think a lot about your smile and yourself. You may have a beautiful smile, but I believe it would be impossible for the entire world to be like, she's smiling. So, with hyperbole, it's an exaggeration. It's a beautiful one though. And when you smile. Okay, I'm sorry. So, moving on. What's being hyperbolized is he is saying that her smile makes the world stop and makes the world stare. But what it really means is that she's so beautiful that he stops to enjoy and admire her beauty. And that's kind of what it means. It's about how he sees her, really more than what the world sees. So going over my 10 minutes. So it's time for your examples, and you're writing them right here in this box right here. Do not copy off of ones you've heard before. Okay? Mix two of them as you're being inspired by these pictures. Now, these go from beautiful to kind of strange to kind of different, but I wanted you to think about it. Remember, you're thinking about exaggerations. What could you use to exaggerate? Okay, so there's one picture right there. And there's another one. And again, you can pause me if you need to. None of these are mine. The other ones, simply metaphors, I made my own pictures, but some of my own pictures, but these are not mine. I just think they're very interesting. Okay, so that is hyperbole, and it's time for me to move on to idioms, our last one. So, with idioms, you have a definition. You can write the definition right here. Oh, sorry, I got a little carried away. Write the definition right here in the define it box. Zoom it in. There you go. And the definition is this. And again, don't forget to pause me. An idiom is a common cultural expression that is not, that is it, oh Lord, that is not to be taken literally, but is understood by most people due to its social context. Do not copy the word it, because it's a common cultural expression that is not is it not. Don't copy that. Cross it out. But is understood by most people due to its social context. Okay, so that's what idioms are. And here we go. My examples right here. So I'm going to give you some quick examples just so you'll kind of know, and then I'll give you the song ones, which is the ones I kind of want you to write. Those are the ones I like the best. So here we go. Here's some quick examples. Keep your chin up. It's written all over your face. You don't have to say a word. It's raining cats and dogs. You are the apple of my eye. Look at that picture right there. I know you didn't see it at first, but now you see it, don't you? Look closely. Yeah. All right. So all these things really are sayings. You know what they mean because you've kind of can read you can figure out the context clues, and you kind of can figure out that way. So you've heard it before, but it's not literally happening. You're not walking outside and hearing as it is raining and the dogs and cats are falling down from the sky. You don't see a big old apple in someone's eye. That's not what that really means. And you don't have words written all over your face. So that's what idioms are. So the ones from songs. John Legend's All of Me has a lot of idioms in it. And one of them, cards on the table, we're both showing hearts, risking it all, though it's hard. 'Cause all of me loves. All right, moving on. Hey, John Legend. He can't hear me. So anyway, what that really means is this. Lay your cards on the table. That's the idiom in this right here. And I like how it's all kind of like a card dealing kind of thing, like you're playing cards. We'll go into that later on, that symbolism later on. So what does it actually mean? Well, it really means when you lay your cards on the table, it means just let's be honest with each other and show each other, you know, this is what I really have on the this is what's really going on. And it's very difficult and it's risky to be completely honest, but I'm going to be completely honest with you. Okay, so that's what that means for that idiom. Another example, and I love Adele too. This is all about Estelle's love for her songs that she loves. I know you probably don't listen to Adele, but I do. I hate to turn up out of the blue, uninvited, but I couldn't stay away. I couldn't fight it. That's from Adele, Someone Like You. Okay, so the idiom in that one is actually out of the blue. We're not blue. We're not coming through blue curtains or anything like that. It just really means that she headed to arrive unexpectedly. When it's out of the blue, you don't expect it. So I hate to turn up out of the blue, uninvited, but Alright, so I sung to you like 3 or 4 times. I think that deserves me going over my 10 minutes. I love you. So that's another example of idioms. It is time for you to give your examples. And this is a little bit different. Where you write it is pretty easy, but notice it says your researched examples. Because it's cultural, idioms are made in every culture in a way. You have to find 2 examples. Don't make up your own. You are going to find your 2 examples. They're common and they're used. So, remember, because we're almost done, create your own personification and hyperbole statements. Do not copy off of what you've already heard, seen, or have learned in the past. Make up your own. But research, look online, look in a book to figure out these idioms. Do not make the idioms up. Okay? With that in mind, and I am cutting it super duper close, this is it for Figurative Language for the Classroom, another edition of the Flipped Classroom, courtesy of RestellZone.com, and have a good day.